Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. What day of the week is it today? Doesn't matter. The question you really should have asked is, how long has it been since Blizzard did something scummy? The answer is clearly too long. Because they're back with some shady shenanigans in their game World of Warcraft. Now, what you can see on the screen here is a video which I made a year and a half ago. And this was how to obtain the reins of the Mighty Caravan Brutosaur, which was a new mount that was going to be added into Battle for Azeroth. It was one of those mounts that has vendors on the side, and it was one of those mounts that was going to be much sought after. Dinosaur, it was huge. People really liked the look of it. I think if I show something a little later on, probably with me with it on, I think I showed the Horde side and the Alliance side. There you can see the imagery there. It's this big old dinosaur. Now that rocked in though at 5 million gold. And I know there's going to be some daft ape that's going to go, oh, that's really easy to get. Off. But 5 million gold is very difficult to obtain in the World of Warcraft. You either have to absolutely live on the game and do so much gold farming that, you know, I mean, the game in itself is boring enough. Or you can purchase WoW tokens. And of course, these WoW tokens allow 30 days game time. You can pop them on the auction house and they will sell. And they will sell for gold. So that is a very easy way of generating gold in the World of Warcraft, paying real money. Because when gold sellers became a problem in WoW, when Blizzard identified how much money gold sellers were making, they turned themselves into the gold seller. And people have flocked to this token, not just because it gives people a decent amount of gold, but it gives people legit security. Would you rather buy gold from Blizzard, or would you rather buy gold from a Chinese gold farmer? You know, work out which one's actually going to be better for you. But to get 5 million gold is hard enough. I mean, in the previous expansion of Legion, blimey, there's so many now, there was a spider mount, which was a very sought after mount, and that clocked in at 2 million. And at the time, a lot of people thought that was, you know, very, very unobtainable for the vast majority of people. So yeah, the mount is a very rare mount indeed. And to get 5 million will take a substantial amount of time, which means, you know, even if you don't get it in this expansion, keep on trucking, yeah? If it's your desire to use that mount as your dream mount, then you're going to be acquiring gold here and there, and you might have acquired 2 million by now, you might have acquired 3 million by now, you might be, you know, the sort of the donkey's back's been broken, so you're ploughing on through. Well, Blizzard have done something. They've announced, or I shouldn't say they've announced, it was actually data mined initially through Wowhead, that the Brutosaur was going to become a feat of strength in 8.3. And if it's becoming a feat of strength, it normally means that mount is going to be retired. So, when it was questioned, this post went up on the forums from a community manager, Kyvax. Hello, yes, about that. Like all dinosaurs, the Mighty Caravan Brutosaur's days are numbered. I can confirm that when Shadowlands goes live, the shady vendors, Tulutu and Tricky Nick, will cease selling it. Their other offerings, the Lost Platysaur, Pet and Palehide Direhorn mount, will remain available for purchase. We will make sure that the unforgettable Brutosaur mount is added to the list of possible items that are sold on the black market auction houses, and, of course, this new achievement, Conspicuous Consumption, is a feat of strength, so as such things go, it's not actually very conspicuous. So, going back to here again, this is the Alliance vendor, Shady Nick. And you can see the pet for 100,000 gold, very obtainable. You can see the Pale Hide Direhorn for 500,000 gold, pretty obtainable. Pretty obtainable. They're staying. But the one that costs 5 million, the one that's actually going to take the most effort, is going. So what is this actually doing? Well, you've seen the title of the video, you've seen the thumbnail. This is creating a false scarcity of this item. And by retiring this item, going on the black auction house, if and when one comes up, only one person's going to be able to get it. And somebody probably who's got maxed out gold will just put max out bid on it. Boom, it's already done. Done, dusted, out the way. So the amount of Brutosaurs that will become available when it goes on a black market auction house, easy for me to say, is going to be very, very rare indeed. Very rare indeed. So they're creating this scarcity. So unless you are really close to hitting that 5 million now, and you've got until Shadowlands, until it releases, when Shadowlands going to come out? Well, if Shadowland comes out any time after August, then it means Battle for Azeroth is going to be the longest World of Warcraft expansion. Patch 8.3, which will be the final patch of this expansion, is already on the PTR and will most likely launch, I would imagine, end of January, beginning of February time. Ish. Unless we get a date before that. Not that I'm playing WoW right now. So you can imagine that the beta or the alpha for Shadowlands will start sometime maybe around May. End of April, May time. May, June, July, August. 3 or 4 months of testing. Let's just say it comes out in September. Shadowlands comes out in September. You've got about 9 or 10 months to gain the required gold. And it's not easy. So what that does is if people are close, like really close, then they might go, right, okay, I can farm the rest of this gold within that period of time. But let's just do something else. Let me just jump onto my WoW account. Don't worry, I'm not going to reactivate it. As you can see, I do not have an active World of Warcraft account. If I click reactivate, it tells me the current price of the gold. And as you can see, I don't have enough. Because, like a lot of people, I've been paying for my WoW subscription over the recent times with gold. So, you know, it's a choice of what to do. But you can get currently 232,000, let's say the best part of 250,000, just to round it up and be a little bit generous, okay? So that in itself could easily say to players, wow, I haven't got time to get this extra 2 million. But I can maybe farm 1 million and I'll spend, you know, the price of the token, $15, £15, $20, whatever it is now. God knows. I'll put the rest of that money in. And that's not inconceivable. If you think, well, surely nobody's going to put $200, $100, $300 into amount like this. Really? Really? Spectral Tiger, anybody? The other mounts that you could get through the trading card game, they sold for a lot of money. They sold for decent buck. Hell's bells. Few years ago, somebody purchased the Feldrake for me as a Christmas present. Somebody who watched one of my streams. How much did it cost them? 150 UK pounds. And that was as a present for me. So it's well within the realms of possibility that people are going to spend this amount of money on tokens. And there's no reason why Blizzard are making this mount rare, other than trying to drive people towards purchasing more tokens to get this before it essentially leaves the game. Because once this is gone, the chances of you picking one up, nigh on next to nothing. Nigh on next to nothing. It will cost probably way more than the black market auction, than the current price it is now anyway. Like I said, somebody will just come along with most likely maxed out gold, boom, gone. Out of the way. So this is a real shady, shitty thing to do by Blizzard, especially with the other items remaining in the game. If they can remain in the game, why can't this remain in the game? It's creating false scarcity of item. It's going to try and drive people to the token to try and boost those sales of the tokens, and therefore, there you go. This, and you could say, so why do you care? Why do you care? I mean, sure, it ain't going to bother me because, you know, fuck Blizzard. They're a disgusting company. You can say what you want. They're a disgusting, filthy company nowadays. So I'm not going to fall for these tactics. But the people that they're targeting are their most loyal customers. The people who are sticking with them through thick and thin. And you can say to yourself, well, that's their problem. You're right. You're right. It is their problem. But the fact that Blizzard are so willing to constantly exploit, bearing in mind there's also been 5 store mounts this expansion, the most by a country mile. 2 subscription offers have gone along this expansion as well. Why? Because the expansion dropped off a fucking cliff when it came out. Because the content was shit. Busy doing nothing. That should have been Battle for Azeroth's true title. Lots of stuff, boring as hell, all the same, done it all before, and things like Island Expeditions missed the mark completely, Warfronts missed the mark completely, so you were left with your standard World of Warcraft fare. Raiding, Mythic Plus dungeons, PvP, nothing changes in this game, people are bored, they don't see any innovation, they don't see any progression, because it's just being milked dry, and Blizzard are quite happy to milk their loyalist of fans dry as well. So it's going to go. So depending on how far away you are, if this has been your dream, if this has been your goal to get this mount during this expansion, you have probably around 9 to 10 months to raise the rest. If not, you might find yourself being forced to pick up some WoW tokens to finish the amount off. Because that's what Blizzy want from you. Good stuff, Blizz. Good stuff. It's nice that you're very innovative in the way that you like to exploit your customer base. You know, it's a shame that you're not particularly innovative when it comes to creating any sort of content with lastability or fun. But there we go. That's the state of play with WoW right now. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.